I just sat down and watched this for the first time since I was 6. I actually saw this when I was 6. So Barbie and the Nutcracker tries to adapt both the original ballet and the short story by E.T.A. Hoffmann, which of course follows a young girl who on Christmas Eve receives a Nutcracker doll as a present, but later on in the night discovers that the Nutcracker is alive and is currently leading a rebellion in the magical land of Parfania, which has been taken over by the Mouse King, played by Tim Curry. Now I'm going to start off with the positives of this movie because honestly, there are a couple. For one, Kelly Sheridan does give a good voiceover performance as Barbie. It makes sense why she played this character for over 14 years, and she gives her character this sense of compassion and courage that, even when it's forced, it's nice to see a character who might not be always resourceful, but she still puts in the effort as much as she can to help people, and she's rewarded for it every time, so at the very least, there is a good, consistent message. There are a couple angles and shots that do try to be stylistic, like this one shot of two couples dancing where it's filmed in a wide, and then it pans over to a snow globe, and once it zooms in, that snow globe has an image that mirrors the dance that the couples are doing. And it's little touches like that that once in a while make it seem as if there was some effort being put into it. And whenever there's a ballet sequence, the choreography is fast and fluid enough to be entertaining, and the music from the original ballet is fun to listen to. The last dance in the story especially feels as if it is being performed on stage. The music and the character's choreography fit the mood of the scene, and it feels as if that dance is what's moving the story along in the moment. The downside to the ballet in this movie is that, other than that last dance that I just talked about, the majority of these sequences feel like filler moments because nothing else is going on in the scene, so why not just have a dance number? And most of these scenes are just Clara, the main character, and the Nutcracker watching sugar plum fairies float in the sky for like 5 minutes straight. No real reason or anything, no sense of urgency, nothing to worry about even though they're leading a rebellion, let's just watch them dance. And then once they're done, the fairies literally push Clara and the Nutcracker together to try and make them dance. That's the only chemistry that they have between the two of them throughout the 78 minutes in this movie. And the sad thing is, these moments are the only parts that are decently animated. Oh boy, this movie really lives up to direct-to-DVD quality. The designs and the way they're rendered, I think, are supposed to represent what the original dolls looked like, but these characters move at such a slow pace and half the time make these awkward pauses for no real reason that, honestly, the dolls look more lifelike in comparison. Whenever there's a fight or a chase sequence, those exact things that I just mentioned keep it from ever being exciting, and the designs themselves look absolutely ridiculous. There are these two kids in this movie where I don't even think they have names, where they look like they're wearing pajamas the whole time. The boy has this bodysuit that makes him look like a gingerbread man, and I guess it's his sister, they don't really say, who wears all white with peppermint stripes and has a hat with that exact same look. And did girls find that cute back then? I don't remember girls finding it cute back then. And the one person that sticks out the most is this soldier, I guess, named Captain Candy. Yeah, that's seriously his name. I'm ashamed to even call him that, if I'm being completely honest. Who is so distracting just by looking at him. And I'm not saying that the design itself is bad. I'm not against the character looking like that in a movie, but there's no one else who looks like him. He's the only black guy in this entire kingdom. Do you really need this Middle Eastern military suit to make him stand out? Because honestly, it seems more awkward and kind of offensive than being respectful and tributing. You could have dressed him like the other soldier in the movie, and he would have stood out without it looking distracting. But my biggest issue with the movie is that, up until the finale, absolutely no one does anything significant to move the story along except for the Nutcracker and the Mouse King. And you're probably wondering why Tim Curry is even in this movie, let alone playing the villain. And this was back in that time period where the Barbie movies had enough money that for each one they could hire a celebrity voiceover to play the villain, someone who was semi-famous and had daughters or granddaughters who would play with the dolls. Rapunzel had Angelica Houston, Kelsey Grammer was in The Swan Lake, They even got Martin Short to be in The Princess and the Pauper. But whereas those actors gave performances that were so over the top, you could have actually laughed at how bad they were. In this movie, Tim Curry's not even given any moments to chew the scenery. He's just there to cast a spell to try and stop the Nutcracker's plans, and he defeats them with ease every single time. There's no reason for him to have Major Mint or Captain Candy with him because they literally do nothing. They're just there to crack jokes, nothing else. Even Clara does only one thing that does anything significant in the last 20 minutes, and the only reason she gets away with it is because the Mouse King's army are full of idiots. Look, I know this sounds stupid complaining about a Barbie movie's lack of effort, but the other ones that came after this actually did try to give character development. Whether it be a purple animal who was the main character's sidekick, who was shy and sullen, and had to learn to build up their self-confidence and face their fears, or a prince who had to learn from their common people what they want in a future king. These arcs were cliched, silly, and heavy-handed, I'm aware of that, but at least they were putting in effort to give their characters development, depth, and things that you would expect in an actual movie. They sucked at it, but at least they were putting in effort. Barbie and the Nutcracker is not one of the worst Christmas movies or even one of the worst kids movies I've ever seen, but even for something that went straight to DVD, it's just dull, lazy, and it doesn't feel like they were putting that much effort into it. And for that reason, I'm going to give Barbie and the Nutcracker a 1.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching, and did you grow up with Barbie and the Nutcracker, and if so, how do you feel about it now? Has anything changed? Has it stayed the same? Whatever you think, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at noperfectmovie.com. And once again, thank you all very much for watching. Take care.